Welcome back. So today we are renovating the Sprucewood Square lot. I have it switched to community garden, which I'm annoyingly definitely going to leave that tab up for way too long. But here we are. So this lot is like the little story on it is that it used to be a train station, I guess, and you can see the train tracks like up behind it. And so I don't know. I immediately got this vision in my head of this like the brick and the arches and like the pillars, and that's what I wanted to go with. So it's like it makes this little like indoor outdoor space right here. And then we also set up like a huge flat garden. I don't know. I like how this lot came out. It's not like my favorite build I've ever done by any means, but I do like how it came out. These lots are really intimidating when we're talking about like remaking all of them because you literally have to make like four builds for every like one of these three lots because once they switch, it'll go back to the EA build if you didn't do one. So this is just the community garden tab of this lot. So right now, like I still haven't done the community space, the maker space, or the marketplace. And so I'm open to suggestions if you guys have ideas. I kind of think that I'll leave the same building in all of them and then just like furnish them way different because I think that's kind of realistic. Um, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I mean, I don't hate how this building came out. I like the idea of it a lot. There are some things in execution, like especially I'm messing with my Netflix. You can tell I was distracted while I built this. I built this late at night, and that's like always like a weird time. But I don't love how I furnished like the inside. I love how the outside of the lot came out. We do a lot of like staggered planters, a big like just dirt in the ground garden. We have a kids area. Like I like how it turns out. And inside, I like we have a kids area inside too. And then we have like a rooftop area, which is bugs and bees. Um, and I don't hate it. I think I'm gonna leave it this way. I may make a couple tweaks before I upload it, but it will be on the gallery as Sprucewood Square Garden, or you can search my EA username. All that information will be in the description down below if you're interested playing with this lot. Eventually it'll come out when I like put out my save, but I have so much work left to do on that save, it's not even funny. So that'll be a while. I would guess it's gonna be at least a year till the save is done. So, if you want this before then, you can just place the lot. And if you wanted this lot to be there more of the time, you could place it as like the community space rather than the garden space and then just not vote, so that and like not change anything. I think that would force it to stay, but I don't know. These lots are cool, and I like that you can change them in game. I do like the idea of them. I just struggle a little bit with all the builds I have to do, but that's all right. It's a challenge, and we need those. We all know how we feel about the gate situation, so I'm not even gonna talk about it. Like, I'm not even gonna go there. So we're gonna make like a big public bathroom here. We use those university bathrooms that I struggle a little bit because they didn't want to like clip nicely. This fits better. So we end up putting three of them in. It comes out nice, like a nice public bathroom, as nice as those can be. So we do leave some exposed brick inside here. I don't add windows until you'll see them in the screenshots. I just like totally didn't think about it until I was out like in the map, and then I was like, why does that build have literally no windows? So I went back in and added a few to the back wall. That's really the only place I added them. Um, we have so many vertical planters. They were like outside I use them in a not lazy way, but inside I use them in such a lazy way because I couldn't figure out what other furniture I wanted, so I just placed a bunch of them. So here we're doing the little trick that I'm sure everyone has already heard of, but if you search perfect plant in the gallery, you can find a lot of awesome people have already like placed plants from live mode. and saved them in build mode so that you end up with these rooms of perfect plants and you get everything you want. And so then these are like real gameplay playable plants. Annoyingly enough, these had all clipped to the pots. So when you took them out, you had to like use the 0 and 9 keys to lower everything. They also wouldn't delete by group, which I know I've done before. Like I've placed this exact room of plants before. This one just has one of each plant. So I went back and searched for something that had duplicates because I knew I wanted some duplicates of plants. So this room did. But just search perfect plant and some like you can find rooms that just have like the perfect onion or the perfect like whatever, right? And so it helps. So here I am, I'm gonna place plants and planters. Like honestly, that's probably the majority of this build is just me placing plants and planters, but I wanted it to have playable plants and still have room to plant more things. So where that room is that we placed right now, I end up planting those, putting down those hydraulic planters, the ones that don't need watering, because I feel like it'd be realistic that there'd be some of those here. Like they're a fabricated item, so they're not gonna be everywhere and you can't have them at your house right away, but it would make sense that somebody built some for here. We make like a little experimental plant section in the back. I do end up leaving that cow plant. I don't place like a bunch of alien plants. I just do the spiky little fruits that are there now. I debated, I actually like go all the way through with it and then delete these later. But I place these little fences down because like in a real community garden, you can like buy a plot of it, right? So you can buy like whatever that means locally to you, like a 12 by 12 square or whatever, and then you can plant in it. And so I liked the idea of having them like a little fenced off like that, but I just execution was hard, and I was gonna have to make like a path all the way down that side, and it was so much space wasted and whatever. So I don't end up doing that. Here I am futzing with like having a path for a while, but I tried to kind of group things together, which is why this took so long because like there are a whole bunch of like fruits and vegetables and herbs in the vertical planters, and then in the actual garden I had like one person's plot that they were growing vegetables and one person's plot that they were growing flowers, and it gets a little less organized at the end, but honestly we keep a lot of it. So, um it just took a while to place everything, and this is me lowering everything down to the ground level, which was the most annoying part because everything clipped to those pots. But I didn't want to have all my plants in pots, so I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal. You press the 0 key 3 times and it lowers it down. It was just a little tedious doing it with every single flower and every single vegetable. Um, they also wouldn't clip to the planters unless I lowered them, so that was annoying. So this is what I was talking about where I got a little lazy inside and I just placed a bunch of planters. I had some left that already had plants in them and it just seemed easier and I didn't know. I put flower arranging tables inside. We make a flower arranging section. I make like a kids corner where we have like a I think I do like a puppet stage and I can't remember what else, but nothing like crazy. I put this stump back here. I've never played with it. I know you can plant something in it. I'm not super sure what. So it's there. I've put it in one other build before and it was like a gardening sim. I also do put Apache out there. I know he doesn't super match like the aesthetic of this build, but he's so nice to have when you're gardening. Like I think about playing on this lot and like those plants will die unless people are here constantly taking care of it. So unless your sim is traveling here constantly to populate other sims to show up, like it's not going to make it. And so having Apache will help these plants survive, I think. Because I didn't place any like sprinklers or anything, so like they're gonna need to be watered. Also, I don't know if sprinklers work that way. I've never played with them. Maybe they're just a play-in. I'm not sure. Uh, So here I am deciding that the upstairs is going to be for like bees and bugs. So we make a couple rows of bees. I end up going and changing these to multicolored because I feel like probably people would like, pay for a box or whatever and then get to do what they want with it. We also do put a row of solar panels up here because I assume that this kind of lot would want to have a green eco footprint. I struggled with where to put that stupid little bird feeder, but it seemed like the kind of thing you should have here. And then like so many of these bug things. Here I am like deciding we need different colors of things. So, I imagine like the individual Sims who take care of these, like, right? Because in the real world, you would probably like pay to reserve one of these boxes and then grow your stuff here. I also make like a bike parking area over here, which like none of these bikes will belong to anybody. So you definitely could like ride around on them. And then I'd use some of these planters from, what is it, Outdoor Retreat, because I think they look nice and homemade, and I don't put anything in those. So yes, so this is the kids section. So I do a whole bunch of like the scout boards because I felt like that made sense. Like maybe scout meetings happen here. Um, and then I like put some toys and things for younger kids. Like, it's some place to like have your kids come with you to this lot, have them play or have their scout meeting or whatever. Um, while you arrange flowers or do your gardening or whatever you're going to do on this lot. Probably garden, if we're being honest. So, this lot would make it so easy to eat and get food if you were doing like a rag to riches or like I know the new trait, one of them is like they get mad if you buy food, and so like this would help with that big time. Placed on the shelf, put a bunch of toys on it. The kids section gets kind of big, but like honestly, I didn't know what else to put inside here. Like, what do you put inside at a community garden? I thought about having like a pumpkin carving station, but like, what are you gonna do with that the rest of the year? So we end up putting a little kitchenette right there, which I think makes more sense. Um, I didn't want to put a bunch of like fake plants in, like, the decorative plants. So I just didn't. But this is when I get lazy and place the rest of those planters because I didn't know what else to do. So here we are. These are screenshots. This is my lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.